I'm wondering if you can just tell me a little bit kind of how you got involved in doing this project. I know you've done a number of voiceover roles in animation before. What was it about this show, Angry Birds, that made you want to jump in and do it?
Well, at this stage in my career and in my life, I'm always happy when someone says to me, "We'd like to work with you," and invite me to work. I don't audition for parts anymore, but I'm always looking for something a little bit different, a little kind of special, something I haven't necessarily done. I never did an Angry Bird before, and so when they called and offered me the part, and I read the script, it was really the character that drew me to this. To want to do. I think Marlon he was so unusual and so kind of over the top and so just all over the place with his emotions that I just thought this would be, I've never played a character quite like this and it would be fun to do, even though it was, it's his voiceover. So, yeah, I think for me now in my career, not necessarily looking for the next job as much as looking for something that'll be fun to do, something I'm going to enjoy, and something's going to push me a little bit. And Marlon definitely did that.
No, sure. Totally. Totally. It's a really fun character too.
Thanks.
Um, Angry Birds has been around for a long time just as a franchise, be it there was I think, two animated movies.
Yeah, I think so.
Two.
Yeah.
And obviously it's been a game for forever just to play on your phone. Were
Right.
you familiar with it at all? Are you good at Angry Birds?
And honestly, no. I mean, I like to say yeah, but no, I really wasn't. I heard about it because everybody's heard about Angry Birds, and but I've never really. I'm a little leery of getting caught into games because I can become obsessive with it. Tetris was enough for me to go. It may not be a good thing for me, but so it wasn't until I read the script and. That I thought, oh, now since then I've gone back and I've watched, the all the shows, the episodes that we did. But yeah, I loved it. And when I met the production team, they were so excited, and that enthusiasm is just contagious. And I just thought, yeah, this would be. I want to be a part of this.
Sure. Sure. Kind of leads to my next question I was going to ask you. I don't know what the future of the Angry Birds franchise exactly looks like, but if they were to say, do you want to keep voicing this character in more of the show or a potential movie, would you be interested?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And for all those other animated producers and whatever, I'm always available. To me, animation is like, in the work that I do, it's almost like the dessert. I mean, film and television, theater, that's a different kind of, it's a different part of me. Animation, it's really just, it's fun. It's sort of a different sort of exploration.
Hmm.
And I'm always open. I haven't done a lot because I really haven't been uh, asked to do as much as I'd like, but I've never pursued it. I've never sort of gone out and a lot of this you need to audition and do, and I'm just not feeling that. I'm a little too old for that.
No,
But I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to work.
sure. No, I got you. That makes total sense. And that was kind of leads into another thing I was going to ask you, just about kind of animation in general, because this show, Angry Birds Mystery Island, it's obviously made for children, and it's kind of a genre of media that I feel like some people just immediately brush off. They'll just be like, it's for my kids. I don't care what they're watching. It doesn't matter to me. And I don't think that's really fair because I feel like kids kind of deserve good entertainment too. And it still
Yeah,
takes all kinds of time and effort to work on these shows and these projects.
yeah.
So is that kind of something that's going through your head when you're picking a role like Angry Birds Mystery Island? Like, do you think adults should be paying attention to this kind of thing?
Yeah, no, I think, well, first off, they used to have the cartoon shows and they were supposedly made for kids, but then they were kind of interesting. So when there's a project that has some sort of, I don't say moral story, but some sort of theme that addresses life in general, I think that's important. And I think Angry Birds is one of those shows, that teaches.
Mm,
There's lessons in there. Um, so yeah, it's there's there's cartoon shows for adults now. I've done a few of those Adult Swim, those things. But yeah, I do feel that we're sort of in this thing together, and those of us who've lived as long as I have, we're sort of wanting to make sure we stay connected to the younger generation,
Hmm.
and to be a part of that. And these shows, Angry Birds, and that's directed toward youth. An important way of staying connected to having some influence, because so much has changed in my lifetime that's a little bit different than what I imagined, but it's no less viable and important. And so it's important that we continue to participate and be a part and have some influence, without forcing ourselves, but to and so for me to have a chance to do a show like this, I think it's really, really important. And I've tried to do that in my work in general, the Ghostbusters stuff, or there's a show called Quantum Leap that, I think brings families together so they can at least have a discussion together, um, and shows where the parent can watch without feeling tortured to have to sit through it. All the yeah, I think this is very, very important. I think this is an important show, and I think it's very important for me to do this and be a part of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's I totally agree. I think it's for kids, but adults can watch it too. It's got a lot of good lessons. I think it's really good. So I love it. You brought up Ghostbusters. I just wanted to kind of quickly ask you about that because you've had a busy year, busy past couple of years, kind of coming back for actual life and Frozen Empire.
Yeah,
What was it like to kind of return to those roles? Was that a lot of fun?
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I honestly had reached a point where after the second movie, we didn't think there'd be any more. I mean, I'd sort of given up on. But yet, it was such an important part to fans during that whole time. People were still putting on their jumpsuits and their backpacks. And so when we finally came together, it was almost a spiritual moment. I mean, I see Bill Murray and Danny in their jumpsuits and see Sigourney Weaver and Annie Potts. It was very, very special. And I realized that that's been a part of my life for over half my life. I mean, somebody at any time I'm on the street, somebody will refer to it, Ernie, who are you going to call, But yeah, so it's important for me now that there are chapters in every major city around the world. I mean, and they do a lot of charity work, and so a lot of good has sort of come out of that. I'm very, very proud of that. But overall, what I've tried to do in my career, obviously, I don't just do certain kind of roles, but I am conscious to try to do shows that that cross generations, that touches people in a way that they can get something out of it, or something to contemplate anyway.
Sure, sure. No, definitely. And just kind of sticking with the whole animation thing involving Ghostbusters, I think it was a couple months ago, but they announced that they were doing Ghostbusters animated series for Netflix, and I know Jason Reitman's involved in all that. They haven't really said kind of what the scope or anything is going to look like, or if there'll be any returning characters. But would you be open to voicing Winston in Ghostbusters animated?
Well, I told Jason, don't ever let anybody do Winston voice unless I'm gone, like gone for real, So, yeah, I don't know what happened in the original Ghostbuster thing. There's a lot of stories or whatever.
Mhm.
I believe the director wanted Arsenio, was a friend of his. Maybe I'm not sure, but the studio felt that none of us original Ghostbusters would even think of doing an animated, and that might have been true for the other guys who made a lot more money than I did.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I love doing voiceover work, and I would be very heartbroken if anyone voiced Winston, uh, from this point moving forward.
Sure, sure. I'm crossing my fingers we'll get to hear you in there because I would love that. That's big fan, big fan. So That would be cool. Just kind of, I mean, we touched on this a little bit, but at this point in your career, do you really have a preference when it comes to live action or animation? Just because, again, it kind of goes back to what we said earlier. I feel like people just can immediately dismiss animation because they think it's for kids, but there's so much animation can do, just so many different worlds it can take you to. So do you like animated projects like Angry Birds or I know you voiced a character in Star Wars Bad Batch. Do that carry like the same kind of weight for you as doing stuff in live action?
Yeah, no, it's all. I mean, when I decided to be an actor um, as a career path, I knew that I had to prepare for and be ready to do. I think it's all valid, whether it's theater, television, film, animation, um, and they because they all sort of offer a different um, muscle. You know, I mean, and I think it's important for me to be able to, and I've been able to do a little bit of all of it, but I love, like I say, animation, and because it's really is a little, um, it's different, and I always want to be a part of that. But like I said, I don't sort of openly go out and pursue the roles that kind of, you know. But I like to do a lot more, and I'm always open to I've worked very hard to, sort of build a career where, the bills are paid, the mortgage is paid, the kids are out of college. And at this stage of my life, it's really more about just the fun. And
Mhm.
when I got the script for Angry Birds, and I thought this would be a fun character, I knew about the Angry Birds world, but this Marlin character was fun, and I'm open to doing a lot more. But I'm only interested in working with people who want to work with me.
Mm.
I'm not begging for a job. You know.
Sure. Nope, that makes total sense. That makes total sense. And regarding your character, Marlin, like you said, a lot of fun. He's a very angry bird. Hates pigs, all of that. I thought that was great. So I have to ask, is there anything that makes you, Ernie Hudson, that angry in real life? Is there anything that just grinds your gears like that?
It's very hard for me to express anger unless I really. And I think the way I grew up is you almost have to wait until it builds up and then you just let it all out. But
Mhm.
I think I feel disappointment more. You kind of go really. Um, so I don't know things that I kind of disagree with. I've as I've lived long enough, I sort of allow because obviously there must be a space for that, even though
Mhm.
I don't understand. I have four sons, and one has a view of the world that is uniquely his own. And I don't know where it comes from, but I kind of go, but you know what? There's the fact that he holds it. So I just want to give allow people space to feel what they feel, even though I will say so much of it I don't understand, but it's not all given to me to understand.
Mhm.
And I've been very very blessed and fortunate. So I realize that there's some experiences that I haven't had. So I don't know if that answers the question, but I'm like,
No, I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. So I try not to. For me to lose it means I've really doubled down on something, and then I have to question myself, like, why am I so, you know? And I think all of this life thing, it takes trusting the greater good will evolve,
Mm.
but it's hard sometimes to do that. But that's the journey. That's what I'm reaching for.
Sure. No, I totally know what you mean. I totally get it. Awesome. I'm almost out of time with you here, Ernie, but just one last question for you. It's you mentioned that kind of at this point in your career, you're looking for different kind of roles, fun stuff you haven't done before. Do you have any like dream projects or dream characters or people you'd even want to work with someday that you kind of are hoping you still get around to?
Yeah, I mean, there's some amazing people, who do some incredible work. I went to college, Yale. I was only there a year. I didn't stay to finish.
Mm.
But Meryl Streep was there when I was there. I'd love to work with her. I think she's amazing. But not just Meryl, but it's some wonderful actors out there. I'd love to work. I'd love to do a rom com. I keep telling my manager that. He keeps saying, "Oh no, you don't need to do that." I'm like, yeah, but I want to. I want to get the girl. You
I want to
know?
see that now.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, that would be fun to do. So I'm just throwing that out there, and also in action. I mean, I've always been in great shape, and just recently they discovered me in a T-shirt, and suddenly became aware. But I was like, I want to do the action stuff. It's always kind of we're doing this action show, and Ernie's in a suit, and I'm like, well, but I can do that. So.
He's
Uh,
right.
you know, I want to have a chance to do a real fun action movie. That'd be really cool.